Really, these are really powerful images of Pooja. Undoubtedly, this is precisely why we see rage across the nation. While you have Pakistan-sponsored terror, relentless infiltration bids along the Jammu and Kashmir region, Pakistan and India still continue to play cricket. No wonder there's been that kind of outrage. While you have our officers really putting their own life on the line, their sacrifice, what does it really mean to the nation? How far and how valuable are the lives of our Jawans? While on one end we entertain cricket, we entertain a sport with a country that sponsors terror against India. Here on the other, we have families who are grieving for their sons, their beloveds, who are putting their life on the line. So we enjoy freedom and watch cricket gleefully between India and Pakistan. The outrage is legit and it's understandable.
All right, Nabila, looking at the visuals, if I have recognized correctly, I think that is the governor of Punjab, Banwarilal Purohit, who's just arrived at the location there at where the last rites are set to be performed. And it's important. It's important that those who represent the political side often make a presence at these last rites. There has been often in the past as well complaint, and I've seen it for myself at some of the last rites where the politicians don't sometimes bother to come. But here it's good to see the governor of Punjab making a presence at this last rites location. It is just as a reflection to show that they are as much there in gratitude of the sacrifice that these soldiers are making. So that is what we see. And I think it's the wife now. It's the wife, Nabila, most likely, who's laying the wreath on her husband. The family members possibly, one by one, will arrive. This is a protocol that's done after the senior officers. Family members, one by one, will come, lay the wreath, and then the final rites take place. He leaves behind elderly parents. One of them, of course, have been in the Indian Army, and then a wife and young children. There's a sister also, and we saw the visuals earlier of the sister who had kept a plate with the Rakhi on it. This was, remember, the festival of Raksha Bandhan a few days ago. Colonel Manpreet Singh could not come, but there was a conversation he had with the sister. And news reports had revealed that he had promised that he will come very soon on a leave, likely in the month of October, and that is when they will meet. And that is why, in an extremely overwhelming moment, the sister chose to keep that plate of Rakhi for one last time to her brother, Colonel Manpreet Singh. Similar instances were seen at Major Ashish's residence. Major Ashish was making a new house for him and the family, specifically for the family, because he would continue to be on duty. In the next few days, on 23rd September, there was going to be his birthday and the housewarming ceremony. And he was expected to come for that. So his mortal remains for one last time were taken to this new house before they were taken for the final rites, leaving behind families with so much courage fighting on the border against the devious designs of these Pakistani terrorists who continue to cause disturbance and interference. One thing has changed for sure in Kashmir. More and more local residents have started to support the Indian Armed Forces, have realized that what Pakistan has been up to against the family. But important here is to see the reflection of the support that has come from family, from strangers, from friends. People who have thronged from nearby areas, left everything. Even in the case of Major Ashish, the streets were packed of Panipat, of so many children who had joined in. Because these are legendary stories. They have given Mohali a name to be spoken about in pride, the son of the soil of Mohali, of Panchkula, of Panipat, of Kashmir. 3 different cities, one India, Nabila, where these soldiers continue to fight for us. That's the Governor Banwarilal Purohit, who's now going to lay the wreath on Colonel Manpreet Singh.
Governor of Punjab, who's laying wreath, tributes to Manpreet Singh as his cremation, his final journey is nearly coming to an end. You have all officers, his colleagues in the army, a lot of them who have arrived as well. Pooja, the Governor of Punjab is also present there. It takes for a lot for the families to bear with a loss like this. No matter what happens, one can't be prepared for death. And here you have the army officers themselves coming and standing by with the family members to ensure their support, at least for a little while. Their grief will not end for months and years to come. They will never forget. The family, of course, will be in immense grief. But do we know if the Indian Army, how do they deal with cases of this nature when a soldier dies protecting the nation, basically on duty? What's the kind of support given to the families who have been relentlessly backing their beloved son?
First of all, there's always any sort of physical support that is needed is available. As you can see here as well, senior officers and those who may have known Colonel Manpreet Singh have ensured that they stay around the family. Then there is always, whether it's with regard to health, education, or anything that is required, there are different protocols that are always available for the family that can communicate with the senior officers. And this time, for example, Colonel Manpreet was from the Sikh Light Infantry, just like Major Ashish. He was, in fact, the commanding officer. So there will always be senior officers who will ensure that the family is taken care of. There is also an AWA association where the wives of serving Indian Army officers have their specific duties too. So in cases like these, they communicate, they ensure that it's not just about the men in uniform. These are wives without uniform too. And they will be in touch, coordinating with the families regularly. That's the Governor of Punjab, Bamari Lal Purohit, laying a wreath to Colonel Manpreet Singh.
बेटे ना बोलो मेरे बराबरी तो है भाई आप बैठ जाओ यार, सारे आगे खड़े हो, सारे आयो फोन वाले पीछे आयो यार, मेरे यार थोड़ा तो ये देख लो यार कैसे यार ओ कौन है, आराम से बात कर ले यार, कौन है चल कर देख लो यार, अपनी बेइज्जती आप करा दे तो